Day 3, the second week of our journeying through Lent, and I wonder if you've ever kept a nature journal, perhaps inspired by a walk through foggy, misty woods. On a cold winter's day, looking up into the bright night sky and seeing the constellations and stars. Or perhaps you've been inspired by a visit to a beach and the tiny, tiny mussels clinging precariously to the rock and the wonderful shades of grey and blue. Or what about a wander through a glen filled full of ferns with rolling, tumbling, water-down rocks? Is that what inspires you? Well, in the following images, there is a bit of a nature journal. A picnic up on the Hackpen white horse at the end of a very long hot summer's day, surrounded by inquisitive horses. We sat and had our takeaway tea of fish and chips from the chip van at the Crown. Get battered, no less. One of the ponies took rather too much of an interest in Phil's supper, and several times we had to stand up and sit down as the very pushy horses came looking for scraps. At the end, one of them came forward and engaged in an endearingly funny, humorous, comic way with Phil. This large, hairy, fetlocked creature pushed in and almost was looking at helping pack up the remains of our picnic. There sometimes are moments of deep communication between men and animals, between humankind and the creatures. Sometimes there's a bond that's formed very quickly between us and creation. And whether that is an inquisitive pony wondering what it's all about, this picnic and the packing up of a mat on a hot summer's day in the shade of the big tree on top of Hackpen Hill, or whether it's a starlit sky, or a tiny snowdrop, or the soft muzzle of a pony, or the smell of new-mown hay, or the sound of the dawn chorus in the spring. Whatever it is in nature that inspires us, I wonder, do we take time after to sit and reflect on it and to think about what it means to us to engage with creation? Have you ever stopped on a walk, just struck by the beauty of a moment spent hanging over a fence, trying to coax a creature to come for a pat? Or perhaps you've sat and staked out a dew pond or a lake, watching for the birds and the small creatures, sitting very still and quiet, hoping against hope something would come. Or perhaps you've simply wandered along hedgerows and looked at the beauty of the wild flowers that some would call weeds, and then taken away those memories, and afterwards barely remembered what it was that you had seen. The track through the crops, the evidence of the planting, and the movement of the heavy machines painting its curves into the hillside, and a heavily laden, fleeced sheep caught with the beautiful effect of the sunlight behind it, looking intently at you as you look intently back, or the glory of a sunset, the final rays of a hot summer's day disappearing, the smells, the sounds, the sights. I wonder if we wrote about it, painted it, thought about it, wrote poetry about it, whether your fascination is with fungi, spiders, or the creatures that live in the deep, that turn iridescent blue. Whatever it is in nature that inspires you and stirs you, I wonder if we should journal it. I wonder if you might take a few minutes this Lent to sit and doodle and to journal what it is you've seen and where you have encountered the God of creation.